Hello and welcome to my BlizzCon Day 1 World of Warcraft recap video. In this video I'm going to do essentially a TLDR version of all the major things that have happened with World of Warcraft in the first day of BlizzCon. Of course we'll probably get more details tomorrow, but I'd say the main flow of information will come from today. So, well, Warlords of Draenor is the name of the next expansion. Overall it looks very cool. The basic story is that Garrosh goes back in time to try to reform a new horde of the old Orcish war chiefs and stuff like that, so that he can go back forward in time and enact vengeance against us. Now, one of the main plot elements here is that it's not full-on time travel. They said it's not really done in a way that there will be time travel paradoxes or anything like that, so we can be, well, safe in the knowledge that they're not going to change any previous lore. Essentially, he's just going somewhere else to meet these old characters, make a new army, but in a way that will not change the past. So in terms of Garrosh's main things he wants to do is make this army. He also wants to prevent the Orc war leaders from drinking the blood of Manoroth, because that is what made them subservient to the Legion. So this expansion is probably occurring either just before the time of the Legion or at the time the Legion arrives. I would imagine it's just before the time the Legion arrives, and that perhaps it's like the Legion stuff is done in a future content patch. So there we go. The main announcement. We don't know anything about release date or anything like that. However, there are some great features which I can talk to you about. The first one is player housing, and this is via the garrison system. And it's not just a house. No, it's a full-on freaking base with loads of interesting mechanics and stuff like that. So not only do you have your main house thing, but you can also have this base. And around this base, you have different plots of land, and on these plots of land, you can put down buildings like inns, keeps, garrisons, various things like that, and these give you bonuses to your character and to your followers, and followers are essentially the minions that walk around your base. You can pick up followers by going to and finding them at the inn, or via faction rep, or just many different sources like that. And they definitely seem to be quite cool, and these guys will level from 90 to 100 with you, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. And once they hit level 100, you can level them up via giving them new items and stuff like that. These followers can run missions for you, including some special missions. Say if you have a very high level, like a fully upgraded infirmary, then you can unlock a new kind of mission for your characters to do. There's a full upgrade tree. There are three tiers for your garrison, and the buildings seem to have specializations. Overall, this does seem like a system with a surprising amount of depth, which is something that excites me greatly. Some people have drawn similarities between this and Heroes of Might and Magic. I don't really know enough about Heroes of Might and Magic to say anything to that, but if so, then they've definitely put a massive thing in the game. So next we have Dungeons and Raids. They will be launching with 7 dungeons. However, they did say that they completely acknowledged the fact there were not enough patch dungeons in Mists of Pandaria, and that there was actually 0. So that will be a thing. These dungeons do all look quite interesting. So yeah, that's good. As for raids, well, there's 2 new raids coming out. One of them is with the Blackrock clan in their big manufacturing area. This is a 10 boss one, and the other one is a 6 boss ogre dungeon. Sorry, ogre raid. And they both look very interesting. The new thing, though, is that the flexible system has been expanded, so it covers, first of all, the easier flexible difficulty, it also covers normal difficulty has been converted, so that it also has the flexibility in terms of the number of players you can play it. Heroic difficulty has also got the new flexible change from 10 to 25, and they have added in a new difficulty called Mythic. And Mythic is essentially 20 players, it's ultra hard, it's the equivalent of current day Heroics. And the great thing about it being 20 players is that Blizzard can bespoke tune things to these 20 players, which means that we get a more level playing field when it comes to the race to world first. So yeah, it should be fun for all these guilds to rejiggle their rosters to fit all this in, but overall it's quite cool. Next we have PvP, and PvP has definitely got a lot of love this time. First of all, we have a new open world sandbox PvP zone. They're describing it as the Timeless Isles of PvP. Imagine Nagrand, not Nagrand, but hey, imagine Nagrand anyway, it's great. Imagine, say, Wintergrasp and all the different world PvPs we've had, but merged together into one big thing that is never ending. A little bit like the old day Alteric Valley. By the way, sorry if I'm a little bit delirious, it's 3 AM and I've been doing WoW videos for 9 hours straight at this point. After this, I'm going to collapse in a heap. But anyway, I digress. It's got things like siege vehicles, multiple different objectives, bases, things like that. It just essentially seems like, boom, lots of world PvP. In addition to this, they also are making it cross-realm. This means that there will always be balanced factions, so if you are in a faction unbalanced server, don't worry. They will fill things out so that you don't have a bad gameplay experience, which I think is just fantastic. They really are going to make this something for everyone for PvP. Also, they've updated the maps and things like that for PvP in like, not Altark Valley, in like Arithai Basin. So there's little icons which show how much, like, say, progression towards capping a point or something like that, which does seem quite interesting to me. There's also a new feature called the Trial of the Gladiator. It's essentially arena, but it only happens on specific times of the week. So it's like a little concentrated little thingy. And what's cool about it is that you get normalized gear when you go in, which means that it's completely skill-based, and because it's sort of concentrated into specific periods of the week, Blizzard can rigorously monitor things like win trading and stuff like that to make sure that none of that happens, and people can't artificially boost or inflate their rank. This is fantastic to me. Also, we have new player models, and the new player models do look absolutely amazing in my opinion. They are very stylized, but they're also very high fidelity, and I think they've done a fantastic job of keeping the original spirit of the player classes while making them look better. They also have got things like they're more rigged in terms of animations and emotes and things like that, so everything your character does will feel better, and they've also redone animations for every single race. I just think that's fantastic. And I'd say, like, a lot of people thought this would be coming out in future content patches. It definitely seems like this is all coming out on launch. And finally, there's a new system where once you get Warlords of Draenor, you will be able to instantly level one of your characters up to 90 so that you can jump right into the content. I think that's a very cool feature, actually. But anyway, that's it for this video. This is your essential recap of BlizzCon. Basically, if you watch one video on the channel, make sure it's this one, but I highly recommend watching everything else because there's lots to talk about the story there, lots to talk about the lore, and there's in-depth discussion about every single topic covered in this. So that's it. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see some more. Stay tuned for BlizzCon content over the weekend, including their other games. I know today was mainly WoW focused. I'll be moving into Heroes of the Storm tomorrow. But yeah, see yous all later.